Today we have with us the Moon Rover from Campfire. This is an EM or in-ear monitor earphone priced at $1,199. It has one planar magnetic driver and a shell made of titanium. Today we will discuss the Moon Rover, what upgrades I applied to it, and how it sounds like. Moon Rover is a pair of EMs and they have this beautiful titanium shell which is flame treated. So to get them this color, which is a variation of blue, red and turquoise and deep purple and yellow, so this entire combination is the result of flame treating titanium. If you want to watch someone do that live, Jerry Rig Everything has a video on his channel where he burns a piece of titanium with a flame and you can see the effect taking place live. When you burn a piece of titanium with a flame, you get a very iridescent color that changes its strength and even its main color depending on how sunlight falls into it. And even with normal indoors lighting, you can get many colors from the Moon Rover. The inner part is also made of titanium, although the board that goes inside of your ear is not. It is made of a different material that is more ergonomic and more rounded. The first upgrade I want to talk about is the ear tip that I've been using with the Moon Rover, because I have replaced the original ear tips with DD Hi-Fi ST35, because the ST35 has a more comfortable fitting with my ears, but also because when I review a lot of products, I want to keep the same ear tip with most EMs so that I can give you the most cohesive review, that the ear tip is not such a strong influence on the final opinion I have on the sound. I also have replaced the original cable because the smoky leads, very high quality cable that Campfire typically offers, is only single-ended. So I have used the balanced cable. As you can see here, we have the DD Hi-Fi Nix Pro cable. It is a very thick and well-made cable, and it also offers a good comfort to the Moon Rover. The original cable also had an excellent comfort. It is thinner, more flexible, and offers an excellent comfort too, but because it's single-ended, I did opt for a balanced cable for the best results. You can get a much more affordable balanced cable if you want, but DD Hi-Fi Nix Pro is a unique combination of being both well-made and also offering a good sonic quality. It also has modular connectors at the EM side, so it works both with MMSX based and 2-pin based EMs. Moon Rover offers you between 10 and 20 decibels of passive noise isolation depending on the frequency, and it doesn't leak that much, which I like. It doesn't really share your music with the outside, especially when my wife is working on editing videos for this channel in the same room as me. If I listen to something which leaks a lot, I will disturb her. So an EM that doesn't leak is important for the good functioning of our channel. We have those 3 golden screws on the face of the Moon Rover, and there is no ventilation that I can see on the EM. So no ventilation port, although there is no driver flex, although some full-sized headphones do have driver flex. When we are talking about planar magnetic drivers, headphones have flex, but EMs don't. Good to keep in mind. But the one thing that I've noticed is a bit of void. So when you wear the Moon Rover, you can notice that they will feel voidy. So don't push them too quickly inside of your ears. Give them time to adjust. It will take about 5 to 10 seconds. Just don't shove them into your ears in just 1 second. Don't go, because then you may push too hard on your ears. I have confirmed this with multiple engineers from multiple companies. Just to make sure, driver flex will never damage an EM or a driver. It is something that will be just uncomfortable for the one who wears it. So rest assured, your EMs are still safe. The driving factor. Moon Rover is not as easy to drive as the other Campfire EMs. It is actually a bit harder to drive, and it's not very sensitive to noise. In fact, it is one of the EMs that is not very sensitive to noise in general. So with most sources, it will not hiss, it will not reveal background noise, it will be quite filtered from the source influence as well. Most sources will sound the same with the Moon Rover, except for resolution and clarity, which is basically depends on the source. So if you have a high-end source, they will scale, but they will not show the source's flaws and problems. And in the sonics, the Moon Rover is absolutely crazy. It is one of the most detailed and the most transparent EMs that I've heard, especially in its price range. It has an excellent amount of bass, very impactful and very punchy, but it's not extremely enhanced. So don't think about Yanni and Carmen when I think about the bass. It's not a full bass head EM, but it can produce a wealthy and rich amount of bass. The bass tends to be rich, smooth, lush and full, while the treble is an energetic, brilliant and sparkly and energetic treble that brings music to life. It is one of the very few EMs that extends between 20 Hz and 20 kHz, so it has both ends touched quite correctly. And since it has just one driver inside, the sonic character is quite cohesive, so you get about the same speed and the same character of sound for all frequency ranges. This is interesting, especially when comparing it with EMs that have multiple drivers, because with multiple drivers you get a very different presentation in each frequency range, which is not desirable because instruments don't sound different. For example, if you have an instrument which has extensions in multiple frequency ranges, like a piano can go from very low to very high in frequency. You don't want the lower pitched keys to sound lazy and the higher pitched keys to sound grainy. This is what can happen when the drivers are not matched for the same speed and the same character. With Rover that cannot physically happen. It's just one driver. It has the same character. It will present a piano more like a real life piano than it will present a piano like a rendered instrument from a digital source. Rover will have a very good transparency. It is a very transparent EM. It doesn't really impose its signature too much on the music, but it allows it to shine with its own character. It has a very wide soundstage, very good instrument separation and instrument definition, and an infinite amount of layers in between the foreground, which is the most forward layer that you will hear, which is typically the lead voice and the lead guitar, and the lead instrument in some songs. Some songs are mastered with the synth being the lead instrument, or trumpets. Trumpets are always lead. If you have anything with trumpets, you will always hear the trumpets being the loudest instrument in the mix. And then there is the background instrument, which is typically the farthest away from you. Usually we have synths in the background, or strings. Typically those two are the background instruments. And Rover can render and present you with an infinite amount of layers in between. It is very good at separating instruments and at giving each instrument its body, volume and presence. A very nice amount of definition and of resolution for each instrument. Music played through the Rover doesn't really favor anything in particular, so it can render both male and female voices quite nicely. Very similar to the Dan Clark Expanse. If those descriptions sound similar, they actually are quite similar in character and not necessarily in resolution as much as they are similar in character and in the overall tuning. Of course, there is more detail to be extracted by Dan Clark Expanse because it is almost 4 times the price, so you can expect some improvements when moving to something which is 4 times the price, but the character itself is very similar. But then there is the thing with the Rover. If there is something that the Rover renders really well, that is female voices in J-rock and J-pop, especially bratty sounding female voices. It's like it was designed for this. It has such an emotional, dynamic and sweet voicing that it can render those anime inspired music so well. It renders them perfectly. It's such a delightful experience. Most anime fans will likely not purchase a pair of $1,200 EMs. I mean, it's not the public for the Rover, but Campfire in general has this colorful accessory package. This is the transport case for the Rover, and this is the smoky lit cable, the original cable. So Campfire as a company appeals to more colorfully inspired customers. So they want you to have a bit of style, and their EMs is one of the most emotional, dynamic and colorful sounding EMs, although the tuning is not that colored, it's quite transparent. At the end of the day, I fully recommend the Rover. It's such a thrilling and fun experience, and you can read my full written review if you want to know how it compares to the market. We do in-depth comparisons in the full written reviews, also for more technical data, of course. Thank you so much for watching. Please watch another video if you are having fun, because it helps me a lot. Also, please do subscribe to the channel, like this video. You're the star for being here with me today, and I hope we'll see each other really soon. Bye bye!